I made mistakes when I was younger. And when I was 20, every single time I blew a live account, it was with this mentality of, okay, I got to make it all happen today. And usually it would be on the heels of something like the morning move where I missed it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, it's going to really go further. And then I would get in chasing it. And then a small little move. And I'm talking such an insignificant, minor fluctuation go against me just a little bit. And I would come unraveled. Like it didn't even come close to a stop loss. Didn't even come near it. But because I was poorly positioned, my entry sucked because I chased it. I'm driving around trying to fill up these vending machines. 20 years old. I'm hot. My air conditioner doesn't work in the truck. I had every possible disadvantage going on. Like, I don't think anybody could have ever done what I was trying to do, ever. But in my mind, as a 20-year-old, because I understand you guys that are 20, you think your shit doesn't stink. You think you're going to be the one. I'm telling you, you're going to be just like everybody else. And I was just like everybody else when I was 20. This is what happens when your parents and your uncles that are older than you, and they tell you, yeah, okay, we listen to your bullshit. You're going to do something. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. We know, just like we felt that same shit when we were younger. Wait till you really try to do that stuff. And you'll learn. Then you get wisdom. I'm not saying you're going to fail, but you think you're going to be different. And I thought I was going to be different too. I'm different. I'm built different, but it took a long time to get here. And a lot of adversity and a lot of lost money. A lot of you would have quit way beyond not beyond, but way before the things I put myself through. I'm not trying to lift myself up. I'm just saying I just wasn't going to quit. I wasn't quitting. And a lot of folks at 20 years old aren't going to put up with adversities that this industry is going to put on them unless they're taught to view things correctly. And one of the things that always is the case with blowing accounts, you're forcing your hand in such a small little interval of time. It might not be just that one day. It might be in a series of 2 days or 3 days or that trading week, because you're not fucking closing this week with a loss. You're going to come back because you all love Rocky. You got the Rocky theme going on. You're down 65% because you didn't fucking listen. You didn't use a stop loss. You're trying to do everything in the world, adding more indicators, changing the settings, checking YouTube. Who's doing what right now? Oh shit, he's doing that in the euro dollar. Let me go over here and do that. You're all trying to do something like it's going to be the magic, ingredients to everything. And you blow your account because you're pushing all of your career. Your whole career now is in the next few decisions. And guess what? You're actually shocked when the result of those decisions amounts to, yes, your career is dusted. You blew another account because you're trying to do something that is impossible. You're putting something on yourself as a trader, as a speculator, and you're trying to insist upon you being perfect in all circumstances that you're in right now. The market's going to be perfectly in sync with you, and you're going to be in sync with it. It's not going to have zero drawdown. You're not going to have any anxiety, and you're going to get the maximum out of the move after you've missed the initial move, or after you have taken trades that have caused drawdown. Some of these things are painfully recognizable. These are the things you like to ignore and pretend they never happened, but you have to endure them, embrace them, and learn from them. That's how I got where I am today. I didn't run from that stuff. I journaled it, I read it, I lived it, and I said, okay, what am I doing? Every time I blew an account in 20, what the fuck do I got to do to fix this? And I found that it was me doing like today, you're probably thinking about the marketplace. And for those that have maybe went in and chased price and got hurt, this means something to you. It resonates with you. Or maybe today you didn't do something, but maybe because I told you I wasn't doing anything and I'm done, that was an encouragement for you to say, you know what, if ICT's not doing it, I sure is fucking touching it. Well, that's good. I'm glad you listened. If I'm not doing something, that's one of the best things for you to copycat. But you're going to see folks come up behind the scenes. They weren't there calling the move. They weren't there saying, I'm doing this. Here's my entry. Here's my stop. Here's my target. They're going to come back after the fact and say, oh, you didn't do anything. Oh, you're silly. Oh, ICT doesn't have a trade. But we were nowhere to be found when it was hot and heavy and we could have done something to prove we knew what the fuck we were doing. See, there's all kinds of armchair quarterbacks. They're all going to come in after the fact. And don't let that stuff bother you. Because, again, these are the same people. They're always going to come after the fact. They're always going to show you screenshots of something that they had 15 examples of running, but they're going to share it after the fact. Say, here's the trade I was in. Why didn't you call it out in the Twitter when I said I wasn't touching it anymore? That's what's lacking all the time. But some of you are so new, it's easily taking your attention away from the obvious. You're distracted easily because you're trying to find a person right now with a hot hand. I don't have a hot hand. I have a steady hand. My hand is steady. I know my stuff repeats. I don't need to have my things unfold in one particular day for me to establish dominance. I don't have to be here every single day doing something. I can pick and choose what calendar events that I'm going to participate in and navigate the entire month like that and be okay with it, and be okay with people thinking it should have been better, or I should have done more, or why did I do this and why did I do that? I'm not here to be criticized. I'm not here to be scored. I'm not here for that. And neither should you be. But you, as the driver, you're in the captain's chair and you're sailing that ship. Your destination is success. But success isn't a one-port destination. It's multiple stops. Continuously. So you got to stop thinking about your trading day or your next trade. That's the final destination. So you have to look past that. You have to look past the results of the next trade. Because if that next trade doesn't arrive at success, you're not surprised. You're not taken back by it. You're not affected by it. It doesn't sink your ship. But days like this, even when you didn't participate, these are the fertile grounds for chaos. And folks, let me tell you something. Go to bed with a fertile mind like days like this would create, and think about how, I'm going to go in there and I gotta fix this feeling I missed something. Well, how do you do that? Run out there tomorrow and press a button too fast without thinking about it? And then as soon as you lose, you know damn well why you did it. That's what I talked about here tonight. And when you do it tomorrow, and some of you still will, it's going to hurt even more now because I told you, and you still can't control yourself. It's not the method that's failing. It's you. You're a captain that has no navigation skills. That's all I'm lending you. My experience behind the wheel. I've been through these waters before. I know where the tide gets a little rough. And I know when there's icebergs. Just don't go out there tomorrow trying to prove yourself. Just relax and go slow. You have plenty of opportunities ahead of you. We have plenty of week left. We have plenty of month left. The fall is just about to start. Like these are the times when the market gets really nice. And don't let this one day trick you into thinking this is the entire move. There's nothing else after this. That's not true. So you just gotta relax. When they took off this morning, I turned to my son and he had like bug eyes. Just sitting there like really big eyes. I said, look how fast that thing moves. Like a deer in headlights, just staring at the chart he was. And I just smiled. I was like, yeah, it moved really quick. He goes, it didn't even give you a chance to do anything, Dad. I was like, I know. But I'm glad I recorded it. I'm glad you got a chance to see it in real time because, again, market replay, that's not the same. You will not see it the same way that it was done live. And there's absolutely no way these crackerjacks out there that pretend that they're sniper entries here and sniper entries there, and they're getting in always at the high ticks on these high impact news events. I'm calling bullshit. Okay? Because believe me, if it was possible, I would have did it. And you can see how fast it was today. It just simply would have never given you a ticket. You would have been sitting there watching it run away like I did. So the moral of the story is this. Your trading career is not a one-day event. It's not a one-week event. So don't treat it like that. Missed moves is a profitable trade every time. Every single time. It has zero drawdown. That's the best fill. A missed move is a perfect trade because you have no drawdown. You have no negative impact psychologically because it didn't take anything from you. You don't pay any commissions on that. You don't pay any spreads on that. It is a learning experience. It's all upside. But think about how you view this day. Before I said what I just said, how do you look at this day? Oh man, I missed this. Man, I could have done a lot with that day. If I just would have had part of it today, that would have been great. You're filling up your head with all this toxicity instead of looking at it like you should. You didn't weather anything that was painful. You didn't pay any commissions. You didn't suffer a loss. You didn't have the anxiety of being in the market for real and not knowing where the hell to get out at. And you know damn well you wouldn't have had a stop. So where would you have put it? Hello. What logic would you have used to place a stop loss in this morning's move? What does that mean? It was just gone. So wherever you would place a stop loss, it would have been wrong. There's no reason to put it wherever you would have tried to put it because it's a move that's been chased. So you never would have put a stop loss on. And that's the reality of it all. You have to be sober and honest with yourself. That's what journals are for. So on a journal entry like today, you should be thinking to yourself, hey, you know what? This was an amazing move. Lots of volatility, speed, ridiculous amounts of speed. But I am so thankful that I did not get in there today and find harm or suffer a loss because of the velocity that this market presented. And there was no way for me to engage it. So I'm happy that my model did not put me in a position where I was suffering a loss, drawdown, anxiety. And that's how you treat it. And on Saturday or Sunday, when you reflect on it, when the market's not trading, you come back to that entry and look at it and look at how the week of the market closed. And you reflect on how it makes you feel. What are you going to be reading on the day like today? You're going to be reading that you're positive. I'm glad I did not suffer a loss. I'm glad that my model didn't put me in a trade that was a losing trade. I didn't have any anxiety because I didn't get a valid setup. Yeah, the market moved, but it didn't give me a valid setup. So I didn't have anything to regret. See how disarming that is? That's self-talk. That's positive self-talk. Some of you simply just want to troll yourself. Oh, I'm never going to get this. I'm so stupid. When am I ever going to learn how to do this? For fuck's sake, I've watched 50 videos of this guy and I still can't get it to work. I know how it feels sometimes, man. I know. But it's hard to stay positive. And the key is self-talk. You do it in your journal because you're going to refer back to that at the end of the week. And you'll also refer back to it when you have periods of drawdown. When you're going through periods of drawdown, one of the things in your journal, like maybe on the inside cover of it, when you had a really good week and just an upbeat, positive week, you want to write those dates down and just keep a running tally of that. And when you have a period of drawdown where you're taking losses or you're in a rut, you just can't find your groove, because that's going to happen too. Not necessarily moving into the market and taking losses, but just simply not being able to engage. Just moves constantly happening, you're not in it. You're going to want to find periods where you can go back and say, this was a high point. Let me read how I was entering my journal entries at that time. And you'll relive that moment again because it's in your own words. And that is what helps you get carried through these rough patches. Don't listen to me and let me be your only source of encouragement. You got to find that in yourself, and you do that through your journaling. No one's going to be able to empower you and inspire you better than your own experiences where you walk that walk. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can minimize it. Nobody can strip it away from you. Those experiences are real. You logged them. You lived it. You were there in the moment. And when you capture that in your own words, using positive self-talk, never putting negative things in there like, oh, I'm never going to learn how to do this. I'm stupid. This is too hard. They're negative reinforcements that your subconscious is going to retain. So if you're feeding yourself positive feedback, that positive feedback loop that continuously delivers that same effect when you go back and refer to these positive entries on an event that wasn't really profitable by monetary terms, but you're coming out of that experience with a positive outlook. You weren't derailed by it. You didn't take a losing trade. You didn't even engage because your model didn't give you a setup. How are you going to complain about that? But some of you still try to do it. And all I'm trying to do is just get your bearings back and set your compass the right way. Success is in front of you. But sometimes you get distracted. You want to look off to the starboard or port side, and you spend too much time looking over there, you'll get off course. And your journey becomes longer than it needs to be. So hopefully this was a little bit of incitement to stay focused and not beat yourself up too much. And if that was, what you encouraged yourself through with doing what I'm telling you to do with your journal entry, that's good. But if it doesn't inspire you and you find things like this or these discussions not helpful to you, I don't know how to fix it for you. Yeah, I don't know what else to do for you. Like, I have no other magic wand. I have no other recipe. I don't have another silver bullet. It's just a hard task to overcome yourself because you're the person that's stopping you from being successful in this. I've already given you a model that works. I've already given you tools and a roadmap. But if you choose not to follow the roadmap and you choose to make your own course, your own pathway, the duration is going to be longer and the adversity is going to be harder. And you're going to probably be a whole lot more anxious doing it differently because you're trying to reinvent the wheel instead of just submitting to the process, which admittedly is hard. It's hard. But everybody that gets there goes through it. Sometimes folks come in, they want to do it a little bit different. They want to do it their way. I'll take a little bit of this, I'll take a little bit of that, and then I'll call it mine. This is my approach. I took a little bit of this approach to what ICT does. I talked a little bit about what this guy over here talks about, and then I have a Frankenstein kitchen sink approach to it. And you'll share the hit and miss times where it works, but it just won't be consistent because you're not doing what I taught you.